what happens in Illustrator and Photoshop and how they're a little bit different when it comes to masking bitmap photos. All right, so let me minimize this. All right, so I already started here. This one is in Illustrator. The important thing you're going to see in Illustrator is your layers. All right, in layers I have, you know, so this is clip group, clip all the way through. And that is what I have. What you're going to see is the word hand is on top of the image, okay? And I had to highlight both things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete, actually I'm going to open up a, we'll see, we'll go into a new one. We have a new one, right? New one. There's only one layer, one image. I brought it in from Photoshop or wherever it was. All right, and I want to have this sit behind text. So I'm going to write the word hand. I'm going to choose whatever font I feel like will work best with it. And I'm going to enlarge it. I'm going to hold down the shift key, just pulling ends instead of going to character and stuff like that and doing that. I'm just going to go ahead. All right, now years ago, you used to have to convert this and rasterize this, different things like that. Now you can actually keep it as the word hand, which is pretty cool because you can spell check it after you clipped it even. It still reads it as text, which is pretty neat. Didn't used to be that way. All right, so I'm gonna go to window, type character. We could change the font if we want. Doesn't matter what color it is. Make it something thicker. I don't know. Just keep going all the way down if we want. Let's see what we got going on here. Not a lot of ones that I'm open right now. That's a good one, right? So we're gonna use this one. And I'm gonna highlight both of these layers, okay? Well, not layers in Illustrator, but they kind of are. They're separate images. One's a hand text and one's an image. I'm gonna click down on the outside. I'm gonna click and drag, selecting both of these. If I want to make sure they're both selected, you can see the blue is highlighted in both of these, okay? And then I'm going to go to objects. Where are we at? It's here somewhere, right? Clipping mask, make. And what happens is my image sits behind here. All right. And I can open up layers right here like I'm doing. And I can move my image behind it still around, but I have to make sure I'm selecting just that. As I'm selecting this, I can move it all around as one big whole. I may not want to do that. I might say, hey, I want part of my hand to actually show through, you know? So I'm going to select right here on this layer where it says my image, and I can use my arrows, or I can maybe lock that guy in place so I can move this around better. So what I did is I put a lock on the word hand so that doesn't keep selecting that. Move this around. I can even rotate it if I want. It all depends on what you want to do with it. Okay, so you get the idea here. The other cool thing is I can unlock this, right? And I can add more letters to this if I want to. I'm like, oh, I misspelled hand, you know, and I can hit A, and it adds another letter. And I can also go up to edit spelling, check spelling, hit start. It tells me I misspelled it. I click on it, I hit change, and I hit done. And then, you know, it's pretty cool. The other thing is if you want to put drop shadow on it, and I'm on this layer, for instance, because I've been working on this layer. Let's just pretend I'm still on this layer, right? I have this layer selected, and I go up to effects and stylize drop shadow. And it's on preview, right? And I'm like sitting here going like this all day and nothing's happening. And it's because what happens is putting a shadow on the rectangle of the photo, but the rectangle can't be seen because it's being masked. All right, so I'm gonna hit cancel. I'm gonna go here to the word hand, select hand, and I'm gonna go to effect, stylize, drop shadow, and I'm gonna do the same thing. And you're seeing the same thing happening, right? Okay, nothing's happening, correct? All right, so now I'm gonna make sure I select the whole group as one big whole. Make sure that's selected. And I'm gonna go to effect, stylize, drop shadow, and there's my drop shadow. So just know that it does still do drop shadow and different effects like that, but it really depends on what layer that you're on. You have to be very careful, pay attention to what layers you're on, that's all. So with Illustrator, I had to select both the front and back image that I wanted to be masked. You can also do this with shapes. You know, I come over here and that was just a random text. Get rid of that. You can also do it with shapes. So say if I had a star, put my star there on top. Select both these things. And I can right click and hit make clipping mask. Instead of going all the way up to object and clipping mask, I can hit right click, make clipping mask. On the Mac, if you don't have right click and are using your trackpad, that's going to be control click. All right. Then I could do the same thing. I can move that around. I could go back into this clip group, move that stuff around. Okay. All right, now Photoshop, a little bit different. All right, let me see what we have here. There's my picture of my frog. All right, it's not my frog. It's actually my niece's frog. But anyway, Photoshop's a little bit different, and I always mess this one up because I always forget because I'm using Illustrator, right? So I'm selecting both of these to move this. Oh, I selected the picture too beneath. I'm still moving it all as one big hole. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna pretend I dragged my picture in. I have to move my layer out of the way. My picture's in the way. I'll make a copy of this guy. I'm gonna make sure he's not in any group anymore. So this guy's not in any group. I'm gonna put my text on top. We're gonna call it frog. And it is really that itsy bitsy, it's no joke. So I'm hitting Command T. I'm gonna drag that stuff out, right? And this is different from Illustrator. Here's why. Okay, and I'll put this right on top. So instead of go to edit transform, I did Command T on my keyboard. I'm gonna right click onto this layer. I'm not selecting the frog layer, okay? And I'm right clicking onto it. Look, what do I see? I see not much to do there, right? So then I go bring this guy on top, all right? I right click on him, there's all the layers, and I hit create clipping mask. And what it did is it created clipping mask with my text. I didn't have to rasterize the text before did I don't remember if I rasterized. No, I did. I rasterized the text. I thought that we had to. I kind of knew that we didn't, but yeah. So it's in the word frog, the old word frog. Let's turn that off so it's not confusing. So I can still edit the text. Okay. And I have to move it all as one big group, so I'm going to select them both. No, just these two. Hold the shift key. Make sure you select them both, move them around. You can do drop shadows. Make sure the drop shadow is on the right layer, which would be the text layer. All right, and you can move that around. Okay. So you don't actually select both layers, you just go above it and you right click it and hit create clipping mask. The thing is, when I did just the text, let me show you what happens here. I did just the text and Command T. All right, so I did just, okay, it helps if you're on the right thing. Command T, I did just the text and I'm gonna open this up a little bit. Lost it. All right, I'm gonna delete that. I don't know where it went now at this point. Okay, let me put this on top here. No, I'm gonna right click it. Get out of here. I don't want it to be part of that anymore. I'm trying to release it. There we go. All right, I released it from the other grouping. So, all right, so I have just the word test here. And I had an image beneath it, right? So we're gonna take that image, we're gonna put that image, beneath it, I think it was, right? And I was clicking on the word test, and I right-clicked, and I just don't see, it doesn't tell me that I can make I can't clip it the same that I would want to do. So this is what I would do, is I would turn it into, I'd rasterize the type, okay? Now I could right-click it, and now I create a clipping mask. What clipped here is not, it doesn't fall into the text. The other way around, my image falls into it. So if I go here and I right click here, hit create clipping mask, it falls into that. So it would fall into the shape of, it doesn't fall, it's not the same. It's not what you're looking for, I don't think. So you could rasterize the text and do that. I did do it here. It did work for the effect I want, but you don't have to rasterize the text. You can leave it as regular text, so you could change it and alter it as text. The thing is, if you rasterize it as text, you can manipulate it. So I can manipulate it like it's not text. So I could go on to this layer right here that isn't reading as text. Let me see if I can open this one up. All right, and we'll hide this guy and this one. So this is not reading as text. I can't no longer type on it. It is, I mean, even though it's letters, it's not a text layer. So you see the difference. That T is telling me it's a text layer. This is not. The difference is this, is I can alter this differently than I could a text layer. So I could smudge it around, alter it in that manner. I could take one letter and alter it. I can, let's see if I select it. Right, and then, no, wait, let me not do it that way. Let me just, what could we do here? I cut and paste in front, but I'm not really sure how that would work out. Let's go to filter and filter gallery or something like that. We'll do that. All right, so let me select just this. And I'm gonna go to filter gallery. It's just the O is selected. And that's gonna work out the way I want it to. Let's do a chalk distort. It's not bright enough. Definitely not bright enough. Let's do a, I don't like the way any of these are. I guess I'd have to go to the picture layer. Let's hit cancel. And we'll go to the layer that the picture's on, because right now the picture's on this layer. And now I'll go to filter, filter gallery. There we go. Let's go to stylizer sketch. All right, and I hit OK. Let's see, we hit OK. It just does just that. So it's kind of a neat effect. If I did that to my text layer, like so. So on my text layer, let me find it in here. Where's it at? Is this, no, that's not it. Down here, that's it, not test. That's where test is rasterized. Okay, let me find a text layer. Let me turn these guys off. There we go. I'm gonna highlight just this O, okay? I can manipulate the photo beneath it. I can't manipulate the letter so much. So I get on the letter, for instance, select deselect, and I go use the smudge tool. I cannot, see, this is not gonna work. I can't use any of those tools really, but I can go to this layer and I could alter, if I select just part of the picture, I'm still allowed to do the same effect, but I'm not allowed to do that smudging effect. So there would be reasons that exist that you would want to rasterize the text, but in Photoshop it's no longer necessary. I'm telling you, years ago it used to be necessary. So let's go to stylize. Let's just do something a little bit different. I'm not trying to be on here for too long. So it does work here. See, isn't that neat? All right, so anyway, that's it. That's all I wanted to show you.